I always knew my dad loved me, adored me, but it was
didn't really show it.
It wasn't he showed it, but there was never any verbal. There was never any. It was just all in action, which I guess at the end of the day that's
a love language.
That's a love language.
It
for
is a
sure.
love language. Yeah.
I just think like the fact that you three are able to openly speak about this part of your life and this in your journey. I think it's when you originally had the idea, I think you guys had spoken about it. It's like it's unspoken. It's something that like a lot of people don't talk about. Right?
Yeah, and I culture there's a lot of negative connotation to, oh my God, you're divorced?
Yeah.
And it's like, and obviously like why the reasoning behind it, it's always, I feel like it's always like for her. She's divorced.
Yeah, it's like you're going to feel like
gosh.
ashamed.
Oh my
like
gosh,
we talked
you're
about it
married,
before.
4 years divorced. And it's like, yeah, it sucks, but not mine.
Now being a husband and a father,
Yeah.
are you more communicative? We were not taught emotional intelligence as the children are today. Welcome back to Primas Pero Not Really. This is episode 10, where today we actually have a guest, a male guest, Mr. JC Perez.
What's up?
So I kind of went down the rabbit hole to do some research because we didn't talk about like a bio for you. And And so
She didn't want to tell me today either.
No.
I asked her.
because
I asked
even
her.
after everything that I looked up and all that, like I just figured you are
she
our Chandler.
researched.
No, but he's still our Chandler. We don't know what the fuck he does. But he knows he does something and he's always working. We know that.
That's great.
And so what
For
I
a while,
can,
it was a floating screen.
yes, for a lot, you were like just a floating head on
For
a
a lot
screen.
of people in this company, I'm still a floating screen.
Just
by
as
the way.
on a Zoom call. But what we do know that falls under the bucket of working is,
Yes.
at least on paper, you are a fearless leader here at Cultura.
Sure.
We never see you except on the floating screen.
Yeah.
You are a co-host of podcasts such as The Algorithm, as well as The Dad Tribe, which is where I kind of snagged you for this because you guys talk about a lot of topics that we talk about, but from the male perspective. So because we know that the things that we discuss, like parenting, marriage, and just everything that comes with it is not limited to just moms, single moms. It also applies to you guys. So thank you for joining us and being the first guest on the couch with us.
Yes.
That sounded kind of weird, but it's fine. We're just going to roll with it.
Okay.
So I guess, I mean, we were kind of having conversations before, before we started filming, but kind of how you started the Dad Tribe. Like what made you guys want to start discussing those things kind of like out in public?
So I'm going to describe myself in a little bit more
We kind of like the
detail
Chandler.
because I always got bitched out on the Dad Tribe when I would introduce myself. I never. I would always keep husband and father for the last. So I'm also a husband and a father. Father to Braden, 4.5 years old, actually closer to 5, honestly. And Mari, my wife, and managing partner here at Cultura Media House. So, and yes, the Dad Tribe. I love the podcast. We started it about a couple years ago, and it was specifically because of that. I felt like there was a missing angle on fatherhood. A lot of the times, for good reason, moms get spoken about and you're at the forefront as a mother, which again, for very good reasons. But dads, especially good dads, as we were talking about earlier, they do a lot, sometimes behind the scenes, but they do a lot. And I feel like we needed a voice. So we started the Dad Tribe. We haven't been consistent. We were at the end of last year. We weren't consistent, but we're going to be picking it back up in 2026. Jesus, 26.
Well, I
No,
was
I
saying
was
we
like,
are in
wait,
26.
we are in
Hold on a second.
26.
This year.
Yeah, I was like,
2026.
hold on, we are in 26. Espérate.
I know. Holidays flew by this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were all sick during
Wow.
that time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was ready for it to be done.
Everybody just gauntlet of flu.
Nice. So, as kind of you've heard our podcast,
Just a few episodes.
just a few.
Just
I
a
guess.
few.
I'm like, can you just lie?
Well, then with that, now we can test your knowledge. Can we
I
quiz?
literally hit like every angle of your podcast throughout the entire process, from editing to when Junior loads it, I see it all. So yes.
So I guess what would you say? Now it's kind of like a pop quiz. What would you say kind of like has resonated with you, or been an aha moment kind of thing?
No, I just think like the fact that you three are able to openly speak about this part of your life and this in your journey. I think it's when you originally had the idea, I think you guys had spoken about it. It's like it's unspoken. It's something that like a lot of people don't talk about. And I love the fact that you're able to come together, once a week and talk about this. I think it's important. So my mom's also divorced and in the same age group, and I think
we talked about probably like getting her in here and be like,
I see her like the way that she speaks about it, and sometimes like doesn't want to speak about it, and it's like no, like it's fine, it's cool, it's a different part of your life, it's a different stage, it's a different season, like I like to say.
I mean, I think it's like there is taboos to it, and there's
especially
like a
in
negative
our culture, right?
Yeah, in our culture, there's a lot of negative connotation to, oh my god, you're divorced.
Yeah,
and it's like, and obviously like why the reasoning behind it, it's always, I feel like it's always like poor her. She's divorced.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna feel like a
Oh
shame.
my
like
gosh,
we talked about it before.
4 years divorced, and it's like, yeah, it sucks, but I'm alright.
I'm
good. Like I'm surviving, right? Like because it's not always that you're great, but you figure it out. And I do think within our culture there is a negative connotation to it. It's that poor thing. Like, what is she gonna do with her life now that she's divorced? Like,
yeah, no, fair enough. And that's again, that's why I that's what's resonated so much with me with your podcast is the openness to be able to talk about this season of your life, which I respect, and kudos to you.
Thank you. Now, considering we are all Hispanic and we all know how Hispanic
although
boys,
I look like German or Russian, but yes.
You would never guess it, pero más cubano que la caña. But having been raised Cuban, were you kind of raised in that stereotypical like boys don't cry and be a man, and if you were, like, how did that shape you then as a father to a boy?
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I have a fantastic father. We're still very close. We have been my entire life. There was maybe a couple of years there where I was in college and I was the douchebag that, you kind of, you
disconnect for a second.
You have to look forward to it.
You disconnect a little bit with your, you
Wait,
shouldn't,
did you go away
by the
to
way.
college? Did you go away?
No, I stayed here. Well,
you're not giving her hope. I was trying to throw you a bone.
I eventually went away. I was here my freshman year. I played baseball at FIU. Then I went to Nebraska, and then I came back and I played at St. Thomas. So yes and no to that question. But no, I've always been very close with my dad. No, my dad wasn't that stereotypical Latino, machista at all. Very manly, very alpha, was always in our family the alpha male. Led our family in more ways than most, but no, he was, and he still is, and we have this conversation all the time. He's not great with emotions. I always knew my dad loved me, adored me, but it was
didn't really show it.
It wasn't well. He showed it, but there was never any verbal. There was never any. It was just all in action, which I guess at the end of the day, that's
a love language.
That's a love language for sure.
It is a love language, yeah.
But yeah, he's not great with words and expressing himself in that way. But no, as far as like your traditional machita, like no crying in our house or whatnot. Like again, he was very alpha and very manly, and there would be a little bit of like, hey, stop crying, and then he'll hug you a little
like
bit,
toughen up.
Yeah, toughen up, and then he'll hug you. But no, there wasn't that traditional,
So kind of understanding that of like, you knew he loved you.
Yeah.
But not because he would say it. I guess now being a husband and a father.
Yeah.
Are you more communicative? Like, did that impact you in a way where it kind of impacted how you show up?
I think in general as a human, not just as a father, like as a human, I try to, I put a big emphasis on communication, always have, probably because of that. Now by default, my mom's the opposite. My mom's an over communicator, like a complete over communicator.
But that's why they worked out.
There's a funny dynamic, or didn't.
Well,
they ended up divorced.
Sorry, Mom.
Twice, actually, by the way.
Oh, wait, what? She made him twice?
Yeah, they divorced twice.
That's a story for another time.
I mean, this is the divorce channel, right? They divorced twice. So
they got married.
I'll tell you the story.
There you go.
So they got married at a high school. They were high school sweethearts. They got married at high school. My mom was 18, 19 years old when I was born. They divorced right after I was born. I think I was like a year old, something like that. I'm sure I'll get fact checked on that. But it was around that time frame. I think they spent like a year or two divorced, and then they ended up remarrying.
Okay, that's what I'm like. I wanted to make sure I wasn't trying. They got divorced from each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes,
saying.
I'm
yes.
sorry because like maybe they were like divorced twice.
No, this
like,
is where I
in
But
say,
then
like my mother would say,
fast
tropeció la misma piedra dos veces. Like that's what happened.
And then fast forward 25, 30 years, and then they got divorced again.
But you know what? It was 25 years.
Yeah, something like
That's-
that. Yes.
Coño.
Yeah. So my mom's an over communicator. So I think
Are you like now like
I
a
think by
blend?
default, and I was always growing up. I played sports. My dad's always been obsessed with sports. We actually had a great moment on Thursday, when the Canes won. That's like our main
Ole Miss,
team.
when they beat Ole
the
Miss.
Hurricanes are our main team, and my first football game was with my dad at the Orange Bowl, FSU, UM. Like
Yeah, for those I remember, they used
Yeah.
to play at the Orange Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That stadium always felt like it was like falling
Ready
apart.
to, like,
Oh my
yes,
God,
especially
yeah.
when like the crowd would like get
Yeah,
super loud and
yeah,
the feet
but
would
that-
stomp. You're like, please don't collapse.
That was my
Please
first.
don't collapse.
That was my first introduction to football, to sports in general. Was baseball, but it was that like I have that moment just burned in my head of like walking down the Orange Bowl, FSU, everybody going crazy, and yeah. So me and my dad and my brother too, just we were always very close. I was always very close with my mom too. But when you have that like bonding with sports and whatnot with your dad, we were always very close. So I think like the communication part, to kind of bring it back around, I think I probably overemphasized communication because I probably didn't get much communication from him. Definitely a lot of physical communication, but just not a lot of verbal. So yeah, that probably shaped that part of me.
Because I think like especially like in our generation, I don't know so much. Would you fall under millennial?
I am
Are
a
you an
millennial.
elder millennial?
Are you millennial?
I'm an elder millennial.
You're an elder millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, we.
Gen X.
Yeah.
I'm not Gen
You're
X.
not really Gen X. I'm Gen
considered.
X.
There's a thing that's called Gen Y. That it's basically like we're
You're
not
like the
millennials
in-betweener.
because I'm early '80s.
Yeah.
And I'm not considered like I don't relate to millennials, but I'm not considered Gen X.
Just because
so
you don't know
it's-
acronyms doesn't mean you're not a millennial. Just kidding.
Wait,
no,
so
no,
Gen
no,
X
no.
is
But she's
between
rough
boomers?
like a Gen Xer, man.
Boomers
She's-
Boomers is before Gen X.
So,
Right. It's my dad's generation.
Boomers
Okay.
is born in the 50s.
Yeah.
but and the reason I brought it up or I mentioned it is because like we were not taught emotional intelligence as the children are today.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Millennials are 1981 to 1996.
Correct. But
Following Gen X and then Gen Z.
Why do you
Yeah, I'm
fact check
87.
me? Why
Oh,
do
here we go.
fact check me?
You know what?
I'm just stating
That's
facts.
what
What
AI
Google is
said.
giving me. No, I use Google. I didn't even use
Generation
ChatGPT.
between
You have to be specific.
Birth years.
There is
between Gen X and millennials.
yeah, I think it's like Gen Y or something like that.
It's Gen
You're
Y.
right.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's called Zennials or Gen Y.
Yeah.
Zennials?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're from 77 to 83.
Man, I was right there. I'm 76. I was like, right
We're
on
also known as the Oregon Trail generation.
there. That's why you gave me the sticker of I am from the
Great game.
1900s. Please
Great
have
reference.
patience.
Great games.
They were shocked that I knew about the game and that I played
Great
it.
game.
I died of dysentery every time.
Everybody.
I still remember having computer class, and we would play Oregon Trail.
That is one of
Oh
the
my
most
God, the green
traumatizing
apple.
games, but they give it to kids. It's like, okay, go
In
ahead and
elementary
die.
In elementary school.
And like your
In
mom's
elementary
dying on the trail. It's like, okay, say bye to
I don't know
mom.
anybody who ever made it.
No, none of us did.
It's okay. Kids are getting traumatized in different ways now.
Exactly.
God.
That is true. That is very true. But
They really are.
So kind of refocus because
Yeah.
ADD's on rampant with us all the time. We're not taught emotional intelligence. So I guess if you've gotten that blend, then Mari must really appreciate that within a marriage because I know one of the biggest difficulties is communication.
Yeah, I'm in our marriage. I'm probably the one that pushes communication the most. Mari's not the best communicator. Yeah.
Putting it on camera.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. She knows this. We talk about it.
I was like, you just threw yourself under the bus.
Be like, Mari,
no,
skip
we-
it.
we-
We're like, Mari, skip episode
we talk
10.
about it.
Just skip it.
I would probably classify myself as an over communicator. Probably closer to my
And what do you
mom.
mean by over communicator? So give us some examples of why you feel. I'm just curious. from a
Anything that
man's point.
if I feel it, I'm saying it. If I feel it, I'm telling you. If I feel it, I show it.
Oh, so you don't hold anything
I
back and let
don't-
it
You don't
bundle
collect
up.
No, and if I do hold it back, that's like
That's bad.
That's not good for like
That's
2
what it's
weeks.
called when you
'Cause then
collect
you're gonna
stamps.
explode.
Yeah.
Why do you look at me like
I know, I'm just laughing because it's like he's talking. It's like so you don't collect stamps. It's like the random backdrop commentary that gets said that made me
What did you
giggle.
say?
Where it's like,
So you don't collect.
So you don't collect stamps.
No, I do not collect.
you
stamps.
see.
No, I
Welcome to the chaos.
I over communicate. Yeah. So
But
if
that's not a bad. I mean, I guess it's a good and bad
if
thing.
you know me, you know how I feel. You know how I feel about you. You know how I
So
feel
tell
in
us
the
how you
moment.
feel about the primas.
I love the primas.
we're
We were, just
spot.
we were just talking about you ladies downstairs. We love the primas.
Damn, we should have been paying attention. Damn,
Should have
we should have been paying
been
attention.
overhearing.
I want to be a
But-
fly in the wall, hearing guys talk about us and see.
No, because again, like what we've talked about, right? It's the whole cultural, generational, and what. Obviously, being women, we don't know what the struggles you guys face, like when it comes to a marriage. Because I know, at least having been a wife, it's always feeling like everything falls on the wife. So what are those? I guess I don't know if burdens is the right word, but what would be those things that fall on your shoulders that we wouldn't know, because perhaps they're like these silent burdens, right, that men carry in a marriage, in fatherhood, that again we wouldn't know because we're just trying to keep the chaosing.
I don't know. It's a tough question because it's like we live in such a different day and age than our parents growing up. So, I think, and then our grandparents, right? Like, I can definitely never even relate to the struggles that my grandparents or our grandparents went through fleeing Cuba or Venezuela or wherever you're from. A lot of us Hispanics with that background, Cuba. Yeah, in my case, Cuba. So it's like, my grandfather literally
The
fled a
Reyes
country.
couldn't leave,
so-
apparently, based on Abuela.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Reyes couldn't leave Cuba, but
know
that's a
that
whole different story.
Yeah,
You didn't see the holiday one.
My grandmother says that here we had Santa Claus because Castro didn't let the Reyes Magos leave Cuba.
All roads lead back to
I love,
Castro.
I love Cuban stories. They're
Okay.
the best. You're like, I don't know. I don't think so.
It made sense.
It made sense.
Sure.
Like, hey,
Well,
we had
Sure,
to leave.
It made
And
sense. Everybody else left. Maybe they
don't
got.
get in the shower during a storm because
Oh, you're gonna get electrocuted.
don't go swimming after you
electrocuted.
eat.
F death.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
no,
death. It's death.
no, but the no swimming after you eat. I
You
can,
actually
know.
could cramp up.
You
That's
could.
Oh my
actually
God.
a
Okay,
real
but it's a
I'm like,
cramp, but
that's
it wasn't a
happened to
cramp.
me.
That's a real one. You
It
could
was-
cramp up. Yeah.
They didn't want you to take a shower after you ate, and I'm like,
Wait, no, what? No shower after you eat?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
Apparently cramp up and
yeah.
In the shower?
and fall. And
I
break
get
your
swimming
hand.
because you're like working out, pero in the shower,
Listen, I-
do not wash your
He
hair
doesn't
after
make
you
the
eat.
rules. He's just repeating them.
I know.
Apparently, he's just repeating them.
I don't know. Like again, it's tough to say any burdens or complain about anything when you come from a heritage that like our grandparents literally fled a country. You know, so who the fuck am I to sit here and complain like, oh, everybody shuns on men. Okay, cool. Like, so it's tough. It's hard. I think having a boy gives me a really interesting perspective as to like raising boys in today's day and age. I think it's there's a weird dynamic that has gone on in the last like 10 to 15 years where like I feel like boys are shunned a little bit on being boys, like, and there's a lot that comes with that. So raising a boy right now, like I'm getting reintroduced to boyhood, right? And like what being a little boy was. And it's a really interesting dynamic. And I'm starting to, you open your eyes to like a lot of the things that are going around and kind of in our society. So I think that's maybe one of them is like, I'm very hyper aware of that.
Like
My wife too, but
I don't want to say dilute, trying to kind of like this, the messaging is what you're talking about. Like, kind
Yeah.
of like what's coming in and kind of like shielding or like, agree, don't agree.
correct.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that has opened up my eyes a lot. Madi feels the same way about that. But I would say that. I would say, men, at least the way that I was raised, and again, I come from my dad was he ran our family. And that's not something like I'm not gonna be pissing off my mom by saying that. She knows that too. Like it's very open. Like my dad ran our family, still is the rock of our family. So I think that that pressure of like wanting to be able to kind of be in the same shoes, or at least walk in the same shoes as my father. And again, my father was a great father, so I think I put that pressure on myself as well, of like living up to that blueprint that he's put. So I think everybody, listen, at the end of the day, like everybody has their own trajectory. Everybody is walking in their own shoes and has their own kind of not demons, I guess demons to fight, if you will. So I guess those are a little bit of mine. I definitely am incredibly. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be that alpha and kind of walk in the same blueprint as my dad. So I guess that's the best answer I can give you. That and the whole like boyhood thing. Like I don't know if it's something that I didn't notice before, but now having a boy, like I'm very protective about that. Like be a boy. Like it's okay. Like
it's okay.
It's okay to do that. It's okay to like, there's just certain things that you guys have boys.
I'll
right?
say I have 3 boys, so I completely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
she's in the background,
it's
like
hard.
just you.
Sorry,
And I know, and it's tough
I forget
because-
you're here.
It is hard. It's like mine all play sports.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't want to say like the dumb jock thing, but it's like, but my kids are all very smart. They're all, so I'm like, and there is that, like that thing. It's almost like, I don't want to, I doubt, like, I don't want to say that they're trying to water down masculinity, but I do feel
There
that.
is a little bit of that. And that's where I was coming from.
And that's what I feel like. And
That's where I was
I
coming
know it's
from.
not a popular opinion or a popular topic, but I'm a boy mom.
Yeah.
And I'm very much a boy mom. And like I talk to I'm a mom, but I talk to my boys like
Samuel Jackson.
yeah, like I don't sugarcoat stuff at all. So, and I think maybe that's why they're like, oh, if mom talks to me like this, then like it's okay. But I do notice that. I do see that what you're saying, that there is like that they are trying to water down to a certain extent, like certain things that I'm like, why? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Like what's wrong with being
I think
just a boy?
I think there's a big difference between wanting to evolve, that's the best word, wanting to evolve from the machista and the toxic masculinity that has existed in our society and every society really. There's a big difference between that and I think watering down what is to be a female or to be a male, and what those kind of like basic principles
And I think
are.
like when it comes to like dynamics of a relationship, right? It's, I guess they call it now like being in your masculine energy versus your feminine energy. And like, I am the first one to admit I am a very much an alpha female. And so when people are like, oh, you're just in the masculine energy, it's like, well, show up in yours, papa.
Yep.
How's that? Show up in yours and I can go ahead and lean out
step
of
back
mine.
and be mine. Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. It's that of, but I was just curious as to how kind of like upbringing and culture, how that kind of played a role, just because stereotypically our culture can be a little bit more tough when it comes to boys.
I think we're tougher on boys, but I personally think I see it as I'm tough on my boys because I want them to have tough skin. And if you're used to like I don't want somebody to be able to come and like break you down. Do you know what I mean? Because if you think
It's
I'm
a
tough
harsh
on
world.
you, the world is going to be a lot
It's a
harder
harsh
on you
world out
outside.
there.
I had
know?
somebody give me advice right before Braden was born, and I think it was my mother-in-law, which is funny because we always laugh that we thought that she was going to be the strictest, and she's been like the softest with Braden, which is fine. We love that. And she was like, you're not raising your children for you, you're raising your children for the world.
Oh, my mom used to say that all the time.
And man, that like hits home so much. And as far as like the masculinity and femininity, Mari and I have a really good balance. Mari, like, we've learned to give each other our space as parents. Like, we have a very similar goal in how we want to parent Braden, but I let her have her space when she wants to be a little softer, a little bit more. She'll get down to his level, talk to him and whatnot. And a lot of times it fucking works. Like a lot of the times it's like
She's right.
She's right, and it works. But vice versa. It was harder for her to come around to because she grew up in a household that was just women, or her father was there, but it was just 2 girls, right? So there was a lot of feminine energy in that household, and there was never any what seems to be like, that tough love that with boys,
You need it sometimes.
like boys are different. And sometimes you need to just grab them, put them down and be like,
Listen,
hey,
I don't know. My 18-year-old can be
listen to me.
Thuggerella once in a while.
I
I
know.
gotta like.
I'll tell my kid, I'm like, I will.
And no, yeah,
grab
you
you by
don't
the
even
neck.
know.
Like, I will grab you
I
by
tell him
the
by the
neck.
hair because he has the curls. I tell him I'm gonna grab him by his Velcro.
Velcro.
Yeah, now my kids are basically a little bit taller than me, and I'm like, don't get shit twisted. If I have to get a running start
mom
and
used
jump
to
off
always say
something,
that.
My
I will
favorite
get
is
it.
like, I am small,
But
bro. Kick your ass.
I think that dynamic of like of having that almost that yin and yang of like, okay, you can have the softness, whatever, but there needs to be bumpers. I call them the bumpers on in the bowling alley. Like there needs to be those bumpers of like, hey, you're going off the rails. You need to be fucking put back in line.
Now, did
And
you
there needs to
feel?
be that.
And this is just coming to mind because I remember when I had my oldest, I got pregnant with my oldest, all that. I remember my ex-husband told me, you have 9 months head start on me on motherhood, on parenthood.
That's
and I
funny.
didn't understand that. And once he explained it, he's like, the moment
Yes.
you found out you were pregnant,
Yes.
you were a mother.
Yes.
I didn't become a father until the day she was born. So you have 9 months advantage on me on protecting her, caring for her, and it didn't
Well, that's
dawn
so
on
crazy.
me that
Yeah.
motherhood did start. The moment I found
yeah.
out I was pregnant, it was like everything changed.
Oh yeah. So two things to that. One of them is I always respected my wife and I love her to death. When she became a mom, that was a whole different ballgame. Like the amount of respect that, at least in my case, as a man, that I saw her in a different light, and that it's just such an amazing experience to see a woman become a mother. But second to that is yes, 100%, and I'll even take it further. Like I struggled in the beginning because I always tell people, it was like I was like on the outside looking in, like I was like a referee. Like, how do I help? What do I need to do?
What can I
you know,
do?
Like,
Referee, like,
and obviously as a man, you have your role, and you do, preparing things, making sure things are ready in the house and whatnot. But yeah, you're a bystander. It's mom and baby, like that's it, and you see like the primalness to that. There's just like this connection that you can't replicate. There's no. It is what it is. It's literally nature.
Well, it kind of goes back to, I don't remember what episode where I mentioned it, where I've told my kids on many occasions where the very first sound you ever heard was my heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes,
Which
there
is wild.
there is that
Yeah.
connection between mother and child.
Yeah.
So once my ex-husband explained it to me in that sense of like,
Yeah.
I didn't become a father until she came into the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
You became a mother the moment that test said positive. And it was like,
Yeah.
I had to give him grace in getting like accustomed to, yes, this little human needs you and you need to show up. And I mean, granted, the day we had to leave the hospital, we were like, we're taking it with us. There's no test. I don't have to pass a certification. Like, you're just letting me take it. Okay.
I know, we said this-
Godspeed, little one. We're all going to do
We
well.
said the same thing. But yeah, I agree 1,000%. And actually for me, like it took till I was able to like communicate with him where he's either saying words or whatever the case may be, where I really like, it really took it to the next level. Not that I didn't feel like a father or I didn't love him, but
That's
when you
different,
start,
because with moms, I think like you hear a
There's
sound, it's like, oh, I know what that means.
there's communication right away.
Yeah.
Like this just, again, primal communication. Whereas like a father, yeah, you take a minute. You take a minute to like really connect with.
It's like you need a decoder ring. It's like, what does
Yeah.
that sound, little
But
one?
it's
And-
true, because when the babies had the different cries, like I knew right away,
Yeah.
she's hungry, she's this, she's that.
Yeah.
Like, and my ex-husband was like,
I'm like, what the
Wait,
fuck are you
kind-
talking about?
It all
what do you
sounds the
mean?
same.
What do you mean? What kind of cry?
Crying.
That's the same cry. Crying.
He was
is
crying 5 minutes ago. He was crying 10 minutes ago. It's the same fucking cry.
No, he cried there because he was hungry. He cried there because he had
Yeah.
gas from the food. He's crying now because he's tired.
Yeah.
It's a
No, there's a motherly sixth sense, and again, unless you're entrenched in that, like you don't really know what that feels or what that looks like. But it's the truth. It's a different ball game. Just like they tell you, you always hear the adage like you'll never know what love is until you have a child, and
Yeah.
and I was always like, man, this is so much bullshit. Like I have a dog. I love my dog. I always say that. I'm like, and until you have a child and you're like, you hold that child and you're like, what the?
Now, the
that's
question
where I
is,
make the
what
comment
is
all the
this
time
shit?
of like, I will take a bullet and I'll smile in my mugshot for you.
Yeah.
Because that's my child. I will
Yeah.
smile in my mugshot for my child.
I always say that, especially with boys, like I equally want to throw him through the window. Like
What
I do
happens with
want to
girls?
hug
Hold
him.
on, don't get shit twisted.
Oh, I don't have girls, so I can't tell you.
No. She knows my little one. They know my little one.
I can't tell you.
Nothing.
I have nieces, and having a child and having nieces or whatever is completely different. Like I don't know what that feels like.
Look at she's like,
Hopefully-
listen.
Okay, no, because
Hopefully
I hear
we
it
have a
all
girl.
the time when somebody tells me, "Oh, you have it easy, you have boys," and I'm like, "The fuck I do."
No, man,
The
it's
fuck
so
I do.
different.
My life is not easy.
It's
I have
so
3
different.
boys, and let me tell you, keeping those fuckers
It's
alive has
so
been
different.
the biggest challenge in my
Well,
life.
I would say like even I don't have boys, but one of my biggest worries with boys would be like, be careful like when you go to parties if a girl is drunk
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this and that. What
There
you're
are
posting
so
on social
many
media,
concerns that
like
people
I
don't
don't need
realize.
someone knocking
They're
on my
like,
door.
Yeah.
No,
accusing.
because girls, you have to take care of them. Like I gotta take care of my kids too. I don't just like open the door and just like let them run wild. Like I still have to take care of these kids. Like what makes you
Just
think
put an
that?
air tag on them and
Like
send them
what
away.
makes you think that you don't have to take care of boys the way you take like? Oh, what?
It's a different worry.
He can't get pregnant, but he sure as hell can get multiple people pregnant. More than, like you can only get pregnant once.
Well, not once,
No, no.
but at a time. At a time.
My,
Like, she can get pregnant.
Because you could have like 3 or 4.
Mine can run wild, and Lord knows
Or
what
8.
shows up.
Or 8.
You know what I mean? Like we could have a litter of puppies.
Next thing you
at
know, you
some
have your own
point.
little baseball team.
Like,
Mira
so
eso.
people be like, "Oh no, you have boys. You don't have to worry. And they're easier." I'm like, No,
It's
they're not.
it's
They're
different.
not easier.
They're not easier.
It's
They're
different
And they're
worries.
definitely not cheaper.
No, man, those
Don't
boys
let
can
them
eat.
lie to you and
No.
tell you that boys are cheaper.
Those boys
They're
can eat.
They're not cheaper.
I'm telling you, they're not.
They're not cheaper, and what's wild too is like I read it before he got to this age, but you don't realize that boys at this around 5 years old they're getting their first shot of testosterone. Like that's when they're
Really?
like, yeah, that's when they're,
Prepárate. She's like, espérate.
Oh man.
what?
Okay, wait. I
but
got
and you see
about 2 more years.
it, you literally see it, like they're just
See it how?
shot out of a fucking cannon.
Really?
Their energy is just on another level.
Bro,
like-
have you not seen my son?
They look like
Come
little
on,
tornadoes.
energy already. I can't
They
do
look
it
like
more.
little tornadoes.
It's wild. So,
Oh my God.
so like, yeah, it's a different set of it's a different set of worry. It really is. Like I'm
is.
worried that my child. I'm worried that one day I'll wake up and he's on the roof trying to jump off. Like trying to jump off, thinking he's Spider-Man.
Okay,
This is
Like,
my-
that's
this
my
is
worry.
number 3. We had bunk beds.
And that's a real worry. No, I would never.
Wait a minute.
And I
My
could
youngest,
never-
That's exactly why I got
my
all
Yours,
shit
mine,
beds,
fuck,
not
wow.
My
bunk
youngest
beds.
got stitches on his eye once because they were playing.
Once? Oh, you're lucky.
The youngest one. They
Mine's
they-
already
she
had
saw-
3. Hold
I
on.
have 3. This is the youngest one. The youngest one gets stitches on his eyebrow because they were playing baseball with a basketball. Have you ever hit a baseball bat with a basketball?
Many times and it
Bounces right back, right into your eye.
I'm sure Junior's done the same.
I'm here looking at Ethan like seeing it happen. I'm like, oh my
I
god.
saw it on camera because when they tell me my little one comes in and he's like gushing blood because this right here bleeds like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's number 2 and number 3 come in. And I'm like, what happened? They're like, we were playing basketball. And I'm like,
That doesn't make sense.
and I'm like, but how? No, he tells me the basketball hit my head. And I'm just like,
Doesn't make sense.
at that point, I'm just like, whatever,
It
clean up.
ricocheted back.
I wanted to just do paper stitches at this point because I'm a little bit savage. And I'm just like, we'll just clean it up. We'll put paper stitches and we'll be fine. And their father was like, are you crazy? You have to take him to the urgent care. I'm like, but look, it's fine. It's just a little cut. We pinch it. We'll be. So
Yeah.
whatever. We go to the urgent care. The older 2 had game. So I get dropped off at urgent care with little one. The other 2 go to
Pick
baseball.
a kid. Go somewhere.
Pick a kid, go somewhere. And as we're there in urgent care, I started looking through the camera. And I see, and I'm like, correct, did happen with a basketball.
However,
They forgot to.
they failed to mention there was a bat.
There was a metal
bat.
baseball bat
No.
that they were trying to hit the basketball with. Baseball.
I mean, I laugh at the
Sounds
whole
about right.
roof thing because, growing up in the 80s, we had the above ground pools, like really good Hispanic family. And yeah, my brother and I used to get up on the roof and we used to jump into the
We used to
pool.
do that at
So
my
I
aunt's
was
house,
like,
too.
I
there's
did that
nothing
all
wrong
the
with
time.
that. What?
All the
We used to
time,
do it at my
jumping
aunt's
from
house.
the roof to the pool.
She had a real pool.
No.
It wasn't much smarter.
No.
It wasn't much smarter.
I mean, in hindsight, it wasn't the best decisions, but
Correct.
we survived. We're okay.
Made it.
We had the trampoline in the pool, on the roof, jumping from on the roof into the water.
So you can
with
jump
the
up.
trampoline.
Probably
That-
wasn't
But
the
it
best
wouldn't.
idea
You wouldn't
either.
really jump though because of the water.
okay. Oh, because of the water.
But you had a little bounce. But no, your knees. Are you kidding? If someone landed wrong on there, ooh.
My goodness.
And this is where our knees
We
snap,
drank from
crackle, and pop.
hoses, you know.
There you go.
You
That's
what?
why we're like
We
glow
drank from
sticks.
hoses.
Oh yeah,
And we
did
lived to
that
tell the
too.
tale.
I mean, that's a
Listen, the
Miami
best part
thing.
about
Tell.
growing up when we did, at least I will speak on this side. There were no man. You can sigh. I am
no
so glad there were no
leashes.
cell phones. There were no Ring cameras. There was like
I did not have a cell phone.
My
None
mom-
of my
First thing I
stupid shit
had-
is documented.
In
Exactly.
fifth
None
grade,
of
I
my
had a
stupid shit is
beeper.
documented.
Okay?
Like,
I
my-
had a beeper. Does that give me any
I
credit?
don't
I had a
know.
I had a
beeper.
beeper too.
Okay,
I
so
had a-
I
I'm
had
not-
a beeper. I had a
Yes.
beeper.
Yeah. But if mom
The
called,
most useless form of technology ever.
but like if my mom called a friend, I'm outing myself. If my mom called a friend's house because that's where I was
Sleeping over.
Hold on a minute, let me go get her. It was like, call the next house. Three-way call, and then it'd be like, "Hey, mom, I'm on the phone now." And then
Oh
there
my
was
God. I didn't
all
even
of
do
this.
that.
Listen,
Oh, we all did that. Or
That's
it
why
was,
my kids can't.
She'll
get
call you back. She's
away
taking a
with shit.
shower,
Exactly.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then the
that
beeper
one.
came in.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why my kids can't get away with shit, because it's like, no, I was in the pre-cell phone, pre-Life 360. Like, I got away with some shit.
You guys, I had a boy sleeping in my closet. My mom never felt it.
Mommy, now you know.
You can't do that shit nowadays.
No, I told her.
like-
She knows. She knows.
No, are you
Yeah.
crazy? Especially
He
this. Her
climbed,
kids,
he
I feel
climbs
bad.
up the tree into my window, and then it was us and I had another friend there, and he slept in the closet because he didn't want to leave, and we didn't want him to leave. And then my mom went to work, and then we were still there.
Ay, Dios.
Yeah,
Now
you
she
can't-
knows.
You can't do that shit nowadays.
She
No,
would
just
never look at her.
cameras.
Listen, I would never do
That?
I would die.
I would.
I would die. I would die at the idea of getting caught.
Why, you were good at two shoes?
I wasn't a goody two
She
shoes.
totally was.
No, I did.
funny.
I partied.
That was
like,
me. I was
like, I-
You were a goody
I was a
two-shoe?
buen asshole.
Like I was
an
good.
asshole.
Like no, like
like a
I was
Cuban word.
good.
I was, yeah.
I was what I would call a cool nerd, because I was in like gifted classes, but all my friends weren't.
Got it.
You see, for me, it was.
So I like dabbled, and then I came back.
I was a music kid, right? So I was, the little musical theater nerd kid, whatever. But then there was my brother. I love him. And so all the shady shit, I just did with my brother. Because it was kind of like, I hate to say it, like my mom just expected my brother to screw up.
That's funny.
Because like report
Never
card day would
expected
come
you
out.
to.
Yeah, report card day would come out. I'd call my mom because back then there were payphones at the school. So I would call my mom from the school and be like, here's my report card. Ragada. Get yelled at on the phone. Done. My brother, oh no, I left it in the locker. Oh no, I forgot it in my book bag. Whatever.
I always
He
did
would
good at
delay the torture, right?
I always
So-
did well in school. I wasn't.
So yeah, that's how it was. But yeah, we can't parent like that anymore, man. That's
No,
for
you
sure.
Because now you get the report cards digital.
Yeah, the report cards before the grade book has even closed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I also Life 360. Like honestly, I know my
thank
kids.
God
Like
there
I
was
get the
not.
alerts to my watch. So and so finishes
my
drive.
wife has that
So-and-so.
with her mom and her and that side of the family.
Do you
So
feel like you're going to be a helicopter dad once he gets older because he's a boy?
I don't know.
But it's different between being
Definitely
a helicopter.
strict.
I was
I'm
gonna say a
definitely
helicopter
strict.
dad. I don't
I don't know
think.
about helicopter dad, but I'm strict around certain things like respect. Like I don't fuck around with respect. Like don't talk back to people. I'm already teaching them hold the door, stuff like that. So the respect.
Thank you.
part
That is a
I'm-
lost art. So thank you.
It's a very big lost art. Yeah, so like that type of stuff. I don't think helicopter cop though. No, my dad was a helicopter cop, so I'll probably be the opposite. Yeah,
but define like helicopter.
That's what I was gonna
parent,
say. But like,
because-
what do you consider a helicopter parent?
no, my dad was. My dad was. He was on top of everything. He was very strict.
Like you had to be home at a certain time. You had a curfew.
Yeah.
like,
oh yeah, couldn't be a minute late.
Ooh.
That type of stuff.
So okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a minute late, and I'm gonna go to you because my parents were like that. I was from the mentality of if I was a minute late, I was gonna get bitched at. I was gonna get bitched at if I was an hour late. So I just went with the hour,
Fair enough.
and I just.
I was gonna
Fair
get yelled
enough.
at anyway.
Anyways, and I'm like, wait a
so-
minute, I'm gonna get yelled at for
So
a
let's
minute.
just
No,
extend it.
I'm just gonna, I'm wherever I'm at, I'm gonna enjoy my part. I'm gonna take my punishment when I get home, like a G.
Fair
but
enough.
like a G.
I was also terrified of my father. Not
me
that,
too.
Not that he hit us or anything like that, but I was just terrified. He was just like, so I was like, I'm not gonna fuck around with this guy. So,
Just in
there was one time that I'll never forget that I was at a girl's house and it was like 11:55 and I remember my phone going off and I think I had just gotten my car or something. It must have been junior, senior year, and he called me. He goes, "Where you at?" I go, "I'm at a girl's house, pops." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "You're gonna be late." And I go, "Yes, I am."
At least it was like
He
established. Like,
"We'll talk tomorrow morning." And I was respectful, and I left like 5-10 minutes after that, and Yeah, I was late, obviously.
But at least he was like, you're gonna be
gonna
late.
be late.
Like,
And
you
he's
know
like,
what?
Jackass.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, I mean, at one point, like you said, you were terrified. I was scared of my dad, but
Yeah.
I got to an age where I'm like, well, he's not gonna kill me. So really, like,
Correct.
What's
yell
the
at
worst that
me,
can happen?
What's the worst that can happen?
I'll take it. I'm gonna have fun right now.
Well, it's funny you say that because like even with my kids,
Like at a certain age, right? Like I wasn't doing
Yeah.
that at 12, but like when I was already like senior year, I was just kind of like,
Like,
put your big girl
okay.
pants on, and it's
yeah, because what's the worst that can happen? Get yelled at.
He's not gonna kill me. He's still gonna love me. He's still got
He may not like you for a little bit, but that's okay.
exactly. Something. I'll take it. I'll
Again,
take it.
I was a buenazo, so I was not making those decisions. I
He was
was
like, I'm not taking that risk.
I was not taking risks. It's probably why I've taken risks like
Are you
with
the
my,
oldest?
with my business and like with my career. Like I take a lot of risks because I think I was so
like
I was so reserved.
But are you the
as a
oldest?
kid. Yeah, I'm the oldest.
That's probably why. My brother.
And
was,
it's a girl or
my
boy,
brother was
youngest sibling.
So I have two. I have a brother that I have a sister that's 4 years younger than me,
Okay.
and then a brother that is 8 years younger than me.
Do you feel like your dad treated your brother
Yeah,
the same or
No,
different?
Completely different.
Because you're probably the oldest, so-
we laugh about it all the time. Also, my brother was 12, 11 when my parents got divorced. So he kind of
So
was
he got
like,
a different side
Yeah,
because
he
he had
was
the
like,
separate.
he got
Yeah.
the nice parents.
You know,
he
okay,
got
having
Yeah.
children, because I know the boys are very close in age. You know, your kids are very close in age.
6 years.
Clearly, there wasn't a lot of things going on TV. Pero bueno, I guess my kids are 5 years apart.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely, the mother that my oldest had, by the time my youngest reached kindergarten, I was a different mom.
different mom, yeah.
I was no longer, 30 years old. I was now 35.
Correct.
And then once the middle one hit middle school, now I'm a single mom. So it is absolutely, I think it's just natural that, especially when there is a large age difference between the kids, the oldest and the youngest are going to have two very different versions.
Yeah.
And not just of age. Also, you have to think about situation, right? I am no longer a 25, 30-year-old young mom, doesn't know her head from her ass, doesn't know what she's doing,
Correct. I was just gonna
struggling
say
to
that.
build.
Yeah.
Whereas fast forward 10 years, I'm successful in corporate America. Financially, I'm not worried as much. I'm now a single mom and I kind of have things going a certain way. There are certain stressors that are now released. They're going to get a different version of me. So I think that just, it's not so much that you're softer. There's just lessons learned along the way where it's like, that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, it's like, did you die? You're fine.
Yeah.
You're
no,
fine.
that's fair enough. I mean, I think about it. My mom was raising me in her 20s, in her early 20s.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're obviously a different person in your 20s than you are in your 30s.
Yeah, because you're
and
still
you are in your
figuring
40s.
yourself out too, as
100%.
like,
Yeah,
at
she was
that
a kid,
age.
Yeah. So yeah, and my dad equally. My dad's only a couple years older than my mom. So yeah, there were kids raising me. And then raising my sister, and then my brother got them a little bit older and probably more seasoned for sure. And
Tired.
that's fair enough.
And
then
let's say it, we're tired.
And then got them divorced, which is a whole other. Which is a whole other level. So yeah.
And I know, like you mentioned, like having young being in their early 20s, and I know for myself, I was trying to like emulate being kind of like the same mom my mom was, and then it was like I don't have to do it that way. I could find my own path, and so it was also learning that it's okay. I don't have to rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Everything. So I can take a little bit of what she did, but also kind of create my own, and it's learning along the way. And unfortunately, kids are guinea pigs.
Yeah.
That's what we are when we're little. We're just guinea pigs.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. My youngest, because they all play sports, so I'm like, by the time my youngest is like ready for, I'm like, it's gonna be a finely oiled machine. I'm gonna know where to take him, how to get to there, like what recruiter to use, what
I was
didn't
gonna
work
say, do you
out.
even need a recruiter? Like, I got this.
Well, there's a lot
I'll
of
know
things
what
that
to
I've
do.
learned along the
Yeah.
way, and that like a lot of money that you put into certain things that when I look at it now, I'm like, I wouldn't do that for the littlest one, because it's kind of like there's certain things that if they're there, you don't need to do all the extra stuff, and it's just kind of it's they're money grabs. So like I've learned that along the
Just
way.
use ChatGPT.
For what?
Just have ChatGPT be your recruiter for you.
You know, I don't like ChatGPT.
I was gonna say that's the bane of her existence.
Like, number one, you know I
ChatGPT.
don't like ChatGPT. Number two, I don't use
Your brother
it.
says the same thing.
I don't even know how to use it, to be quite honest with you.
I love it. I use it every day.
I tried using it once. Remember, we were doing the Cuban card, and for whatever reason, she kept on coming out African American.
I know.
So I don't.
And then she came out like a ginger. We're like,
And then she came out with a redhead. So clearly,
That's
I don't know how to
hilarious.
use it. I feel like I have enough brain cells to do it on my own. But
It's a good assistant, though.
I feel, at least in the college recruiting, everybody sticks in their lane. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect you to come and teach special needs because you don't know what you're doing. So I let everybody, the ones who do know what they do,
do their thing.
I'll pay you to do your job, and I'm okay with that. Like,
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. Now, when it comes to like the dad tribe, because you were saying you're bringing that back
We
this
hope.
year.
Yes, I hope to. We got a lot on our plate, but yes.
No
We hope.
pressure.
No pressure.
So, like, what are the things that you guys would bring to the table when it comes to the dad tribe? Like things to talk about. I mean, is like mental health for men something that's typically not talked about?
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys?
Definitely mental health. John, which is my partner on the dad tribe, he's a trainer. And we actually, our friendship grew because he was the owner of the gym that the first gym that I went to when I moved to Clearwater, to the Tampa area. He was the owner at that time. So we got really close and bonded outside of our 90s quotes that we would say all the time because we were 90s babies. We bonded over just that, health and mental health. And I think, if anything, one of the things that I love about our generation of men is that we're really hyper focused on getting into the gym. I think a lot of my friends, at least my tribe, is really either hyper focused on their mental health and making sure that they're in tune with that, but also like getting into the gym and that meditation part. And it's really meditation for me. I've always felt that way. I was an athlete growing up, so to me, like getting in the gym, sweating, that is just like, that's my zone. That's where I get to meditate and kind of break free from the world, if you will. So I think like we bonded there, and we talk about that a lot, how it's really needed. Women for sure, but men for sure. Like men, we need to get our stresses out in a, pick up some iron way. Like there's a very primal.
I mean, there's some men that need like
other
the person
stuff
on the
other
couch, like
stuff for sure.
You can swing all the iron you want, but you're still an asshole.
And listen, and listen, I'm a big proponent of mental health and sitting down and seeing somebody. Me and my wife have done it. I've done it. Like I'm a big proponent of that. But
hold on, pause. So you and your wife have done it, like as couples?
Yeah, we've done
That-
a couple therapy.
Kudos.
Yeah. 100%.
Kudos, because some men would be very much opposed to that.
No,
so.
definitely not opposed to it. I think even if you feel like your relationship is in a really good place, I don't see anything wrong with.
It's like taking your car in for a tune-up.
Well, it's the same thing as the gym, right? I always say the same thing. It's like, even if I'm in peak shape, I'm still gonna go to the fucking gym. Like I'm still gonna try to stay in peak shape. So I feel like going to see somebody as a couples therapist or whatever the case may be, or even on your own, I feel the same way about that. Like there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody that's an expert that is not within your tribe, that doesn't have
They don't have a vested interest
or
for-
vested interests to be able to talk to and be like, just throw things off of. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of that. We both are. We stopped for a couple months just by the end of the year and all the craziness that happens, but we'll pick it back up. We have no problems with that. Yeah,
No, that's
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Because
And
I
I
know
feel
a
the
lot of
same
men
thing
are.
with the gym. Like I one of the first things so when we moved to Tampa, I was always a proponent of the gym, but when we moved over there, one of the biggest things that we instilled was like, it was a non-negotiable. Like we either as a couple or we go on our own, we were going to make it a habit of going to the gym and living a healthy lifestyle and an active lifestyle. And we've kept that for the last 4 or 5 years.
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, because women.
Do you gym together?
We do, yeah. We currently go to yes, we've
But do
gone
you
to
gym together? Because me and my ex-husband would gym together, and that meant we would fight together. So
So-
we ended up going to the gym, and you would go this way.
let me
and I would go that
let me
way
let
because
me
we couldn't
yeah
handle
let me
it.
put an asterisk on that.
I know that. I know that we would gym together and we would fight. So it was like, no, tú pa acá. Y
Then
tú
I
pa
would
allá.
have to because then he'd be like, "You're doing this wrong, or you're doing that wrong, or
Yeah.
what's the sequence?"
like, now
and
that
then
you
he'd be like, "I
clarified-
just told you what sequence to do. Well, how did you forget? I just told you 5 minutes ago."
So we used to so that would be our exact blueprint.
He's like, now that you've clarified the question, yes.
I was also a trainer out of college. I was a certified trainer. So yeah, it was very difficult to go to the gym with my wife and see her work
My
out.
ex-husband was a very large human, he was. He was. I mean, at his biggest, he was maybe like 250, and not 250 fat, like 250,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like.
He was a big guy.
touching
He was a
his
big
ears.
guy.
Big guy.
So yeah, so like he would do this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I can't. It's too heavy. And he's like, just do a plate, and I'm like, I can't do a plate.
Yeah,
so then
I
we get a
gave-
fight, and then
I gave up on two things: ever training with my wife or working with my wife. That is not happening.
Check.
check.
We've attempted. We've learned.
We've
We're
attempted
good.
those two. So we do group fitness together. Like we'll do. We did CrossFit for a while, for like 4 years, and then now we do this thing. Burn. I had sent it to you. Burn fitness or something like that. It's kind of like a 24, not 24. The
Like
one
HIIT?
that it's like a HIIT training. Yeah, like Orange Theory Fitness.
Yeah.
But with weights.
Okay.
Orange Theory has weights, but like
Don't ask me how I know because I don't go to the gym.
they don't. Orange Theory has like weights that go up to like
All I know is
40 pounds.
I'm convincing him to
it's
do
like
high
circuit
rocks.
training.
I'm convincing him to do
may
high
do
rocks
it.
with me.
But this
in
is good.
April.
No, but this is good. It's HIIT, but there is strength training. It's all very high intensity, but there's definitely strength training. So yeah, we do that. We do group fitness together. We can't work out together.
Because
So
it
you
ends
walk
up
you go to the
And
gym
then
together,
you
and then you go in the same car. But that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Understood.
No,
and then I also do a gym called Rift. It's a local gym. They have a whole wellness center, sauna, steam, or sauna, cold plunge, all that type of stuff. So
nice.
very big on that as well.
Cold
the
plunge?
cold plunge. Oh wow.
They say that's the best thing that you could
the
do to
cold
recover.
plunge has as far as like my stress and being able to regulate my stress, cold plunge has been a huge game changer.
But
I
it's
just think
hard.
of Seinfeld.
it's not easy
It's hard at
all.
first to.
We're
Once you
like
get used to it, I
Seinfeld.
feel like it helps.
The sauna as well.
Sorry,
This-
my bad.
No. Well, yes, there's that. But the sauna, but you go right back into the sauna, and
And then it's back to
and
normal.
it's back to normal.
It's okay.
And then it's back to
We're
normal.
just trying to make her like just crawl.
turn
Okay.
red.
It's okay.
That's how we know we've gotten Yvette to
I
like
come
that
from
point.
a very politically incorrect family, so
Oh, it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
We don't talk about those things.
there's nothing in my house.
You don't talk about those things.
In my household, there's nothing that's
We're
not
like, los
spoken about,
disparates
so
just
we're
come
good.
out.
No, my house is like a locker room because I have 3 boys, and
Oh,
the things
geez.
that I've seen, I've never wanted to see.
I can't unsee them.
I can't unsee
But
them.
I can tell you that by no means, if I would have had a choice, would I have chosen
Shrinkage.
Shrinkage.
my
That's
little
one of the
one.
best scenes in Seinfeld.
Like
is
my
that.
little one, and we're in the river in North Carolina when he was tiquitico. I don't know what he said. He's like, my dad decides to tell him about shrinkage, and they're in the river. He's like, Grandpa, you got shrinkage. And I'm like, why do you tell him these things? He's just gonna blurt them out.
And I just be like, Dad, don't answer. For the love of God,
And my
don't
dad-
answer.
My dad's looking around. I'm like, it's your fault. Why would you tell him these things?
Oh my
You,
God.
you definitely get tingling in a lot of places that you don't usually. For sure, in the cold plunge.
Again, ADD
That
at
is
its finest.
45-degree water. So yes, it's very cold.
Yeah, no, that is
And
insane.
you're submerging yourself into it. So
And, like voluntarily. Like, no, I would never do
Voluntarily,
that. I would
yeah.
never like do
yes,
that.
nobody's
but-
forcing.
I don't
But
even
they
like going
say
into
it's
like
the
60
best.
degree
It is.
water.
Have you tried the? Oh my god.
Cryotherapy?
That's the one with the smoke, right?
Yeah.
It's not smoke, but it's like the
Yeah.
cold
Yeah,
mist.
I would
Yeah.
never
But
do
there's
that
another
again.
one that
Okay.
you
Never
go
do
and
it
you're like
again. He's like,
floating
no.
in the
Fuck
water.
that.
What is it called? The one that you're like floating in the water.
Oh,
Baptism?
Oh my
That one right there? That's the one.
No, it's like you have.
Tell
It's
us
like you're
your
like in an egg and you close it and you're
yeah,
like.
that
in the
is
water
more of
floating.
like, yeah,
What
I know
is
what
it?
you're talking
Oh my
about.
No,
God.
I think that's to weigh yourself though. That's not.
In eggs?
That's to weigh
Yeah,
yourself.
it's a
An egg, like
hydro-
work from
Now
work?
she's gonna Google
I'm
it.
gonna
Now she's
fi-
gonna
I'm gonna
Google
get the
it.
name.
They wouldn't know
I'm gonna
about
get the
that.
name.
I don't.
You
I
didn't
have
hear
no
what I said?
idea.
You didn't hear something like mork from work? Like in a-
Yeah, I thought that, Mindy. That's
Oh, I
really
saw that
dating
documentary
yourself.
the other day.
Oh,
I know.
He was great.
Robin Williams.
he was great.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it at?
I don't know
we
where
can
it's
watch
at. I don't know if Junior's watched it, but it's
Every now and then I
heavy, but it's
forget he's dead,
fantastic.
and just like Whitney Houston, and then I remember and it makes me sad.
I do.
I saw it on an airplane. I saw it on an airplane on the way to somewhere.
I forget he's dead, and then I
Hydrotherapy?
remember, and I'm like,
I always forget that he's passed.
and then when I remember
Always.
how long it's been, I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's been
oh
a
my
while.
God,
I know,
it's been so long.
I know. I saw that.
But
the
you
other
see,
day.
that is another suffered for years with mental health.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no one
And you
knew
would never
because he
know.
just
Aquatic
made everybody-
therapy.
But a lot of comedians are very manic depressive.
Yeah, but what
That's
took him
what it
over
is.
the edge was he
That was it
he
dementia,
got
Alzheimer's,
some
Parkinson.
form of Alzheimer's or
Yeah.
one of them, and he thought he was running out of money. Like he literally started going crazy. Unfortunately,
But it's
That's
just
crazy.
it
poor
goes
guy, man.
back
He
to
was such a brilliant mind.
He was great.
Brilliant mind.
I mean,
That documentary is fantastic. I highly recommend.
gonna
it.
have to-
It shows the darkness of his
mental
personality and his drug issues and whatnot. But yeah, he was just a brilliant.
but wasn't
brilliant
something
mind.
similar that happened to was it Heath Ledger after he played the Joker? Didn't he kind of go a little crazy too?
Well, yeah, but he was having mental health issues
Yeah.
for a while.
He was also dealing
Yeah.
with substance abuse.
They
too.
say that took him over the edge.
And that's where I talk about, like men with mental health issues. It just ends up being
I think-
some silent
passes, yeah.
thing
I
that
think
they.
in general, yes. I think in general there is definitely still a massive stigma towards that.
Like you're not allowed.
Like you're not
You're
allowed
a
to
man.
feel.
You're not allowed to
Yeah,
It's
but
when
see,
you're
I never
sad.
felt that. I don't know if maybe like
But I'm speaking more like in a
in
general.
general,
sense.
yes.
The older generation,
For
I think,
sure.
feel back. I
Yeah,
think his
and-
generation kind of started to break that
Well,
stigma.
Yeah.
I'm older, so
Yeah.
coming from that older generation.
Yeah, but not so much
But
older.
I
I think
think-
your generation is kind of where it starts to break
I don't know,
down.
man. We were some rough people, but but for women, like we have group chats, right? And we like have our girl
Yeah.
tribe, and we talk about everything.
yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, guys definitely don't talk about that shit. 100%.
that-
And
Which
that's
is
so
funny
sad.
because I always felt like boys
100%.
talked more about stuff than girls, and now the older I get,
We
I'm
talk
like,
about a
no.
lot of stuff.
But
But
not
not
about
like
that.
I'm struggling.
but
not
not-
with
no.
I'm having a bad
It's like you can't
day.
show that side because you feel
No.
like you're like
That's kind of like where I was going with it, where
Yeah.
I can go to
That's a
them
good
and
point,
be
yeah.
like, I'm having a really rough day. This is how I'm feeling. I don't know where it's coming
But why?
from.
Is it the
or whatever.
masculinity that's like makes men feel like they can't go to each other and be like, yo, I'm dealing with some serious shit right now? Like
Probably, yeah. I think.
but that's so sad.
I think also men have like this built-in, and I say this without talking about the men in here because I think for the most part, all the guys in this building in this business, like we're not part of that crew that won't talk to each other. I think, but I think even then, being that way, the way that we are, like I feel like there's just either this stigma or maybe this like competition of like you don't want to be that guy, like and I think
that's so sad.
and it sucks, yeah. And again, not that I feel like anybody in this building has ever given that off, but I feel like men can. We definitely don't talk about that shit in group chats. That's for sure.
you guys are sending each other
But
funny
we
memes.
don't
definitely
either
do. We talk about
until we had
sports, we
that
do-
like.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just a societal thing. I think men, you're kind of like wire framed to be, go, don't talk about shit, just like hit things head on. And yeah, sometimes you got to take a step back. Sometimes you got to reassess. Sometimes you got to talk. Sometimes you got to see somebody. Sometimes you got to get into the gym. All the time you got to get into the gym. And I really do say that with like, I put a big emphasis on gym.
You know how I feel about it.
Yeah,
gym is a huge stress relief.
And I come with funny shirts.
People don't realize how much
It is
and how
therapeutic.
connected your physical, how connected sweating, how connected lifting, how connected being active is to your mental health. Some people think it's the other way around, like that you need to be right mentally before you can get active or get in the gym or whatever the case may be. And I would argue that it's the other way around. I would argue the more you're active, the more you can get out there, the more that you can get sunlight, the more that you can get in the gym, the more you can lift weights, the more that will help your mental health. Now, that's not going to fix everything, but it's not. Your problems will still be there, but it is definitely going to give you a fighting chance.
At the very least, you'll have endorphins and you'll feel a little bit
Exactly.
happier.
Like
You'll
there
feel a
is-
little bit happier.
There is literally there is a scientific like process that your body goes through, that the endorphins and you're releasing things, and I am a big proponent of that for everything, for your marriage, for your sex life, for whatever you're trying to improve in your life. Like, get to the gym. That is the solution to a lot of problems.
So having since your podcast partner is, a trainer and everything, is that kind of part of your goals with the Dad Tribe, of that mental health piece with the gym? And we don't talk about certain things on the guy group chat, but you'll bring it to the podcast table and we'll talk about it here.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to open up about not only the struggles, but also like the remedies that we've given ourselves, or that we, talk about to each other. That being one of them, like the whole health and wellness and getting into the gym and whatnot is a big part of our podcast, because we really truly believe in that part. So yeah, that was always at the forefront of the podcast. Literally, it was a text message from me to him saying like, hey, there's not enough dudes talking about what it is to be a dude in today's day and age, but also a father and have to juggle that, and then also a husband and have to juggle that in a new day and age, because being a husband in today's day and age is completely different than 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
There's completely, for the good and the bad. It's just a different era, and you're dealing with different things. So yeah, that was definitely at the forefront of the podcast and the inception of why we wanted.
Seems that's how podcasts are started, because it's kind of like, hey guys,
Yeah.
we should be talking about this, and we're kind of funny. So okay, let's do a podcast. Let's see what happens.
I'd listen to us.
I think we're funny, but
yeah, no, I think there needs to be more of that. Maybe not in podcast form, but more men need to talk to each other about what the fuck they're going through, because
it's okay to open up on a group chat. It's okay.
It definitely is okay, and I think I also think too, just society wise, it's always been shunned to like not let your as a man not let your wife into that side of you, right? To almost like put up a front. And I think that there's a fine line between complaining enough where now you're your wife's son, right? And she feels like she's parenting you. There's definitely a fine line, but I think that allowing your wife in on what you're going through and vice versa is very healthy and important in a relationship.
I was going to say, because a wife normally goes to her husband when she's going through something, and he's there for her because he's known as the protector.
But that might be a whole other episode.
But I'm saying like they're,
Maybe that's why we're divorced.
But I'm like, I am one that definitely does say that people view vulnerability as a weakness, whereas for me, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But you have to know who to be vulnerable with, because not everyone has earned the right to see that side, at least to see that side of me.
Yeah.
We have that conversation
I know,
all the time, because I don't cry. And she's like, why not? I'm like, because I don't.
It's
Ni cuando pica una cebolla.
Like, I don't. And I'm like, if you see me crying, like, check to see who died. Because I know. I don't.
I agree with you. You got to pick the right people to be vulnerable to. But hopefully, you've
got the right tribe.
And your significant other is that person. So, but yeah, I agree.
Well, I can say, obviously, I'm a fan of the Dad Tribe, because that is what
Appreciate
led to getting you here with us. So we do hope that you guys do continue and do some more episodes. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It was great.
And being our first guest has been totally fun. And next time I will make sure to bring some refills for you. Make sure to bring the mobile bar was lacking today.
I asked for a refill and they were like, well.
No, that's what you get. Sip slow.
Pace yourself.
But thank you again.
Appreciate
this was
it.
awesome.
Thank
And like with everyone else, thanks for hanging with Las Primas.
Yes. Appreciate it. And good luck.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the new season and everything coming out. So you ladies are doing great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you've been through something similar, hit our DMs. We love hearing your stories.
If there's a topic you want us to dive into, don't be shy. We promise to keep it 100% real and unfiltered.
Follow, subscribe, and share with your favorite primas.
Pero not really.